Yes, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
Yesterday's game was washed out because over 5 inches of rain fell on Baltimore, but it's a beautiful Wednesday evening. Fans filing into the ballpark, and it is time for baseball as the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the New York Yankees against the Baltimore Orioles in the second and final game of a rain-abbreviated 3-game set from Oriole Park at Camden Yards in Baltimore, Maryland. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball. Along with Ken Singleton, I'm Michael Kay. The Yankees have not been hitting. They've been pitching, and now their pitching might get better today because Michael Pineda is back on the mound. That's the big story coming into this one. So let's take a look at the pitching matchup brought to you by People's United Bank. See what know-how can do. Pineda will get the start against Chris Tillman. And if Pineda's anything like he was at the beginning of the year, Kenny, what an addition.
Yeah, you think back to spring training, Michael, it seemed like he was primed for a very big year. Of course, things went awry from that point on. We're going to take a look at some of the action of Pineda on the mound. First of all, he's got a very good breaking ball, very sharp slider, might be his best pitch. But when you're looking for the slider, all of a sudden he can gas you up with the fastball, upwards of 95 miles per hour. And this is what the Yankees have been waiting on all year, since back in April when he went on the disabled list. And now, welcome addition to the starting rotation.
Kenny, the last time he was on the mound was April 23rd. His first 3 starts 2-1 with a great ERA, but he was ejected for using pine tar against the Red Sox. Suspended 10 games the next day. Then he was placed on the 15-day DL with the muscles around his shoulder being inflamed. Then May 29th, after trying to come back, shut down with more inflammation. But in 2 rehab starts with Scranton Wilkes-Barre, the Yankees AAA affiliate, 0-1 with a 1.17. So that's what the Yankees are hoping for, that Michael Pineda can return to the form of the first 3 starts of the season. Well, big names involved in this game. A big game for the Yankees. Lineups, first pitch, baseball coming up next right here on Yes. Torrential rain throughout most of the day. Over 5 inches of rain fell on the area, so they decided fairly quickly to bind the game and will be made up as part of a day-night doubleheader in September as both teams relish the off day that they're going to have tomorrow. Let's look at the game time weather tonight, which is presented by Bigelow Tea. 79 degrees, 52% humidity, 11 miles per hour is the wind. It is clear, and indeed it is pleasant for the final game of what is now a 2-game set. Yankees have to start the hit. There's no secret about that. That's been a problem for most of the year. They are 61-57. All of these games mean so much. 44 games remaining, Kenny, and 9 of those games are against the Orioles.
Yeah, the Orioles are going to go a long way to determining what's going to happen with the Yankees' fortunes within the division and maybe within the wild card situation as well. Yankees going to have to try and score some runs and hold down a high-powered offense. The Orioles have really been swinging the bats well lately, and maybe Michael Pineda is just the remedy for that, to stop these Orioles from swinging for the fences.
Now, Dan Barbarisi is a writer who covers the Yankees for the Wall Street Journal. He caught up with Hal Steinbrenner here in Baltimore. Many of the major league owners are here as they try to elect a commissioner. And Hal talked about the Yankee offense. Quote, we put a lot of money into the offense, and they have been, as a whole, inconsistent. It's been a problem, and it needs to change. And I think Hal speaks the truth there. It has been a problem, and despite the fact that the Yankees have lost 80% of the rotation that came out of spring training due to injuries, and Pineda's coming back, the reason that they are where they are is not because of the pitching. The pitching that they've acquired, and Paxton has done a nice job, they just cannot score.
Yeah, I think the Yankees are 10th in the league in runs scored, and that's usually not going to get it done. You're really going to have to pitch very, very well to sustain an offense like that.
And Kenny, at this point, last season when they were ravaged offensively by injuries, they have fewer runs this year than they had last year, which is really hard to comprehend. All right, so the Orioles have taken the field. Chris Tillman about to take his warm-ups, and we'll take a look at the Yankees starting lineup, which is presented by our good friends at Lexus. Brett Gardner's in left field, he'll lead off. The captain, the shortstop, Derek Jeter, bats second. The number 3 hitter, center fielder Jacoby Ellsbury. Mark Teixeira's at first base, he'll clean up. Batting 5th and DHing Carlos Beltran. Chase Headley, the third baseman, will bat 6th, batting 7th, and playing second base, Stephen Drew. Martin Prado's in right field, he'll hit 8th, and batting 9th and catching, it's Francisco Cervelli.
Here it comes right at you. Serving from Chris Tillman, 6'5" right-hander for the Baltimore Orioles. 26 years old. He's got a pretty good record, 9-5. This will be his 26th start of the year. ERA 3.73. And opponents hitting .241 against him. Let's check out the pitcher scouting report. Brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. And Chris Tillman, how about hit the road, Jack? He's 3-5 here in Baltimore. He's 6-0 on the road. He's pitched much better on the road than he has here in his home park. But he's pitched well since the All-Star break, and that kind of has been the mark for the whole Orioles staff. Tillman's ERA 2.30 since the break, and his last loss was July 12th to the New York Yankees right here in Baltimore.
Well, let's check out the defense that's behind Chris Tillman, and the defense is presented by Geico. In the outfield, it's Delman Young, Adam Jones, and Nick Markakis left to right. In the infield, Chris Davis takes over from Manny Machado, one on the DL with that right knee injury and no surgery. They think that rehab will get him back. Flaherty's at short, Scoop is at second, and Scope, I'm sorry, is at second. Pearson first, and Hundley behind the plate. Tillman is on the mound. So Tillman has finished his warm-ups. They've tossed the baseball around. And the Yankees and the Orioles about to play this one. Yankees have a day off tomorrow. They'll travel after this game to St. Pete, where they'll play the Tampa Bay Rays on Friday at the Trop. So what was going to be a 6-game road trip, now a 5-game road trip. And what was a 3-game series against the Orioles is now a 2-game series. Gardner's ready. Tillman's ready. And let's do it here in Baltimore. First pitch is hammered foul.
Well, right away from Tillman, you see the abbreviated delivery. When he first came to the Orioles, he worked with that standard kind of bring the hands up and then follow through. But now this kind of reminds you of a right-handed throwing David Price. This is what you see from the now Detroit Tiger.
Yankees baseball available in Spanish by hitting the SAP button on your remote. SAP is brought to you by Infinity. Chris Davis in on the grass at third, guarding against the bunt, the 1-1. Outside 2-1.
Tillman has a pretty good fastball, but his curveball, if he gets it over consistently, he can be tough to deal with. Last time he pitched against the Yankees here, he was inconsistent with that pitch, and the Yankees won the game by a score of 8.
Grounded foul.
Or I should say the Yankees won the game by a score of 3-0 on July 12th.
Tillman doesn't waste much time. He's standing there waiting for Gardner to get ready. The 2-2 fouled away.
Here's where Gardner gets into his mode of spoiling pitches. I think at least a couple of weeks ago he was the league's leader in fouling off pitches when he had 2 strikes.
Home plate umpires Jerry Davis, Greg Gibson is at first, Phil Cuzzy at second, and Will Little is over at third. And the pitch. High fly ball. Center field. Adam Jones is there, and he'll put it away for the first out.
Yeah, you saw Tillman take his chances there. He threw that one right down the middle. Now, one of the problems for Tillman this year has been the base on balls. He's among the league leaders in walks. And he just wanted Gardner to put that pitch in play.
Derek Jeter gets a nice hand as he digs it. Derek was 1 for 4 on Monday, had a double, also drove in a run. Fouled away.
Yeah, he's hitting an even 300 in his career against the Baltimore Orioles, but the main number is the fact he's had more hits against Baltimore than any other team. Kind of worn out Tillman a bit.
Chop to second. Scope. 2 outs.
Well, the Orioles certainly took a hit with Manny Machado out of the lineup. You have Chris Davis now playing third. He made a couple of starts. I think this is his second start at third base. And he did one time when Manny was suspended. But the Orioles best fielding team in the league. And Machado's on the bench and now on the disabled list. And J.J. Hardy right behind him, bothered with a sprained thumb. Orioles hope he'll be back on Friday.
Jacoby Ellsbury takes a pitch high. Tonight's injury report brought to you by Montefiore Medical Center Inspired Medicine. So Machado placed on the 15-day DL, sprained right knee ligament. And J.J. Hardy's been out since August 9th with a sprained thumb.
Yeah, I know you were listening to Buck Showalter before the game, Michael. And, you know, he said that Manny's ready when he's eligible to come off the DL. We'll put him back in there, but not until he's ready. They're not really sure how long it's going to take.
I think they breathed a sigh of relief, though, that it wasn't a more serious injury. Hammered foul. They were, worried that it could be something similar to what happened last year, which was total reconstruction of the left knee. And Machado today kept saying, well, I just have to work harder. I don't think that this had anything to do with a lack of work.
No.
Somebody asked him, would he be back in 2 weeks? He said, I'll be back when I feel fine. So nobody wants to put any timetable on it, because when you put a timetable and then you don't reach that, it looks like it's a setback.
It looks like it's a setback and something else is going awry, and then you're going to get questions every single day.
Three and two. Fouled that one straight back, so he was right on it.
Yeah, he had a good swing at that. A 92-mile-per-hour fastball, slightly elevated. Just below the letters.
Rolls over and on the changeup and grounds it to second, and the Yankees go down in order 1-2-3 against Chris Tillman. It's the Yankees nothing, and the Baltimore Orioles coming to bat against Michael Pineda. On April 23rd at Fenway Park. He was thrown out of the game because of pine tar on his neck, and then the next day he was put on the 10-day suspension list. After that, the muscles around the shoulder became inflamed and he was put on the DL, and he's been there until right now. So Michael Pineda warming up. We'll take a look at the Orioles starting lineup, which is brought to you by Chevrolet. Nick Markakis in right field will lead off. Batting second and playing third base, Chris Davis. Adam Jones in center field will hit third. Cleaning up the DH, Nelson Cruz. Delman Young in left. Steve Pearce is at first. Ryan Flaherty bats seventh. He'll play shortstop. Batting eighth and playing second base, Jonathan Scope. And Nick Hundley is going to catch, and he'll bat ninth.
Yankee fans been waiting for a while, but here he is, Michael Pineda, 25 years old. He has no record against the Baltimore Orioles. No decision in 2 starts. He's made 4 starts this year, record 2-2. Very good earner on average, 15 strikeouts in 19 2/3 innings. Let's check out the pitcher scouting report brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. First of all, stay calm. You know he's got to be amped up and take it to the limit. He's got about an 85 pitch limit tonight. Yankees would like to see him get as far as he can in the game before getting to 85. And I think the slider is the key. If he throws it like he's capable of and like he did in spring training, he should hold these hitters down.
Nick Markakis leads off, and the first pitch is a strike. That was a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Girardi said in the last rehab outing with Scranton, he hit 94. Count 1-1. He missed 87 games with the suspension and the injury. Throwing fastballs, and the count is 1-2.
Yeah, he's yet to throw his first slider. Let's see. Maybe Cervelli, that's his plan. Just get him going, get him within the strike zone, then start to expand it. Maybe get Markakis to chase a pitch here.
Through the slider there. Foul back.
That one kind of hung a little bit. That's not his best one. In fact, it looked like Cervelli wanted it down and in, and you know, rust for a pitcher now, he might be able to throw the ball over the plate, but you got to throw it to good spots. You got to get it in, out, keep it out of the middle.
Skied the other way. A long run for Gardner, and he can't get there. Pineda really pushed for this start. Esmail Rogers pitched very well, and he would have started today. But Pineda said nothing else he could prove. He felt good. No pain whatsoever, and the pitch count was built up to a point that he could give them 5 or 6 innings, and they wanted to see that he bounced back from his final rehab start well, which he did. So they started. Ground ball to second. Drew is there. 1 away. Let's check out the defense behind Pineda, which is presented by Geico. Gardner, Ellsbury, and Prado left to right in the outfield. Infield, Headley, Jeter, Drew, and Teixeira that third to first. Cervelli behind the plate, and Michael Pineda's on the mound. Pineda met with the media on Monday and actually got a little bit annoyed of the way a question was phrased to him by one of the writers. The writer asked him, "Are you going to continue to use pine tar?" And Pineda shot him a look and said no and moved on. But you know, he's going to have to answer that question because of what he did in Boston, and it looked like the previous start that there was some pine tar on him as well. And when the Red Sox said go out and check him, it was right there on his neck. But obviously this is not a hot day. I don't think you need any kind of substance to get a better grip on the ball.
Yeah, I think pitchers generally use that in the early season when it's very cold and it's hard to get a grip on the ball. Ball feels very slick in the colder weather.
Hammered down the right field line, but foul. I mean, Pineda out of the gate was such a revelation for the Yankees. It was the pitcher that they thought they had traded for before he had the shoulder surgery. And shoulder surgery is always such a crapshoot, and he really looked good. The 1-2. Just missed.
Well, he's the first one back off the disabled list, so we'll see what he can do here tonight. Just missed.
Just missed with 2 of them.
There's the target of Cervelli. Looked like a backdoor slider. And stayed off the plate.
The 3-2. 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah, reach back for a little extra, trying to blow it by Chris Davis. Davis is hitting 189 month of August. Buck Showalter sat him down a couple of games. He's got 7 hits this month. 4 of them are home runs.
Swing and a miss. Another 95 right by him. Buck Showalter had some snarky comments about Pine Tar today and about Michael Pineda when he went with the media.
No, because our guy's going to have it loaded down too, so I'm going to let them do whatever the hell they want. I understand why. And be careful about complain about somebody else. You might want to look in your own backyard. So basically, am I going to be looking for it? I'm hoping he got a little bit in the right place, and it's real light. I want him to be able to grip it.
Now he's thinking he wants him to be able to grip the ball. He wants him to have control. He doesn't want him to drill one of his hitters because the pitch gets away because he can't have the grip on the ball.
Adam Jones takes a strike.
And you know, that's so true. What Buck said about, you know, maybe some of his guys are doing it too.
High fly ball right field. Prado is there, and Michael Pineda comes back and throws a 1-2-3 first inning for the Yankees. We played one here at Camden Yards. Nothing on Yes. Toyota Prius is the official hybrid vehicle of the Yankees. Will the Tigers' injury problems allow the Royals to win the AL Central? Why or why not? One of the answers from Ryan O'Rourke, MLB. KC has to prove they are true contenders and take advantage of the Tigers' situation. This is a test for both teams. Follow Yes Network and tweet us your responses using hashtag Yankees Prius to keep the conversation going.
Don't you get the feeling the Royals are going to determine whether they win the division or not?
It's going to be tough.
Yeah.
Although the Royals have a very easy schedule for the next 3 weeks. And the Tigers are without 2 of their pitchers, so we'll see. And also gets a little different, Kenny, as you know. They've never been there before.
Yeah.
And the closer they get,
the harder it gets.
The harder it'll get to just grasp that. There's the Central. Doesn't look weird. KC's on top. Feels like the 1980s again. Teixeira fouls it back 0-2.
Yeah, back to the future.
They have a shift on for Teixeira. 3 infielders on the right side. But they do something different, Kenny. They do not have a short right fielder. They just have all 3 on the infield skin.
You know, sometimes it depends on. I saw Scope out there on Monday night. He was out there, but not tonight.
1-2. Driven the other way. Delman Young on the run. And he makes the play.
Well, Buck Showalter alternates his left fielders. He's had Nelson Cruz out there on Monday, and now Delman Young gets a chance to play the outfield. You know, and from Buck's standpoint, it gives them both a chance to play in the field in case, you know, something happens to one of them that they could only DH. On Monday night, Delman Young was a designated hitter.
Here's Carlos Beltran, a guy whose season has gone in starts and stops. Looked like he was really ready to take off, and here he is. He's 5 for his last 29.
Yeah.
Now, there's a stat that Elias gave us, and Kenny and I kind of looked at each other when it was on the top of the list. The Yankees are 0 for their last 23 with runners in scoring position. The last Yankee to get a hit with runners in scoring position was Carlos Beltran when he had the grand slam in the 6th inning on Friday against the Indians. High fly ball right field. Just missed that one. Markakis makes the play for the second out. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday, they did not have a hit with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, it's even hard to think about winning when you don't get hits when you really need them.
Now, you can still score, but that means you have to get a double with a guy at first. You're going to have to hit the ball over the wall.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's Chase Headley. Shift is on for Headley.
Or the other team can throw the ball around like they did on Monday night. That was a heck of a play.
Right, the Yankees had 3 runs on Monday, and 2 of them was because the Orioles threw the ball around.
Well, Tillman's pitched twice against the Yankees this year. Both games ended in shutouts. One that he won and one that he lost. Now, we told you he lost July 12th. The Yankees won 3-0. That was here in Baltimore, but he beat the Yankees at Yankee Stadium way back on June 22nd, and he went 7 innings, 4 hits, no runs. He walked more than he struck out. 4 walks, 2 strikeouts. But Baltimore won that game 8-0. I was listening to sports talk radio here in Baltimore, and the question was, if the Orioles had 1 game to win, who would pitch it? And the majority of the people said Tillman, although Wei-Yin Chen has more victories. They think Tillman's the better pitcher.
The 2-2.
Now, Chen was supposed to start last night, but now he's pushed back to Friday against the Orioles go to Cleveland.
Swing and a miss. Headley down on strikes. Yankees go down in order 1-2-3. They go to the bottom of the 2nd inning, still looking for a run. for one of the hottest collectibles of the season. It's Joe Girardi bobblehead night, the final one in the 2014 collectible series presented by AT&T for the first 18,000 guests in attendance. Now for tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849.
As Cruz comes to the plate, we'll take a look at the Jeep Hitters scouting report for Nelson Cruz, who's having a pretty good year for these Orioles. Takes the first pitch high and inside, and here it is. Deep 6. And that means that he's one of 6 Orioles in his first year with the team to hit 30 or more home runs. We'll give it the others in just a second. Century Markey has never driven in 100 runs in his career in a season, but this could be the year, and his home road splits.
That one's popped up to Shera for the play.
And we talked about the fact that signing with the Orioles was good. It's a good hitting ballpark, but he's actually hit more home runs on the road. He's hit 19 on the road and 12 here in Baltimore. And I mentioned that 5 other players have hit 30 home runs in their first year with the Orioles. Frank Robinson did it. He hit 49 home runs his first year. Albert Bell hit 37. Mark Reynolds hit 37. Miguel Tejada hit 34. And J.J. Harding hit 30 in his first year with the Orioles.
It is strange, though, Kenny. We keep saying that one of the reasons he picked the Orioles is because it's a place where he could put up a lot of home runs, but it's 12 and 19. Yep. 12 here and 19 on the road. So he's having the sort of season he need a home run anywhere. That one is driven to left field and deep. Gardner going back. He's on the track and makes the play to retire Delmon Young.
That one just didn't quite have the sound. Sounded like he hit it a little bit off the end of the bat or maybe down on the label. Delmon Young, I looked at his splits today. He's actually hit better against right-handers. That's a hanging slider. Delmon thought he had it, but instead it's Brett Gardner who has it. And it looks like it's a little bit off the end. A hanging slider about belt high.
There's a strike to Steve Pearce.
By the way, the year that Frank Robinson came over, hit 49 home runs, he won the Triple Crown and was the MVP.
Grounded foul.
Cincinnati Reds said he was an old 30.
He showed them.
Yeah. And he became the only player to win the MVP in both leagues.
The 0-2. With Jerry Davis not giving an inch. I mean, he's calling legitimate balls and strikes, but not giving anything off the plate. Two and two.
Yeah, a little trouble with the breaking ball in this inning. He didn't throw many in the first inning, but threw a hanger to Delmon Young that he got lucky that Young hit it off the end of the bat. And that one just kind of spun up there to Steve Pearce.
Swing and a miss. Fastball upstairs. Second strikeout for Pineda. We played 2. Nothing on yes. On your favorite mobile phone or tablet, get live look-ins, instant replay, score, stats, audio, the free MLB.tv game of the day, and more. Download on the App Store or visit Yankees.com today. Both teams searching for a base runner, 6 up, 6 down over the first 2 innings. Bottom third of the Yankee order now against Chris Tillman, starting with Stephen Drew. When the Yankees got Drew from the Red Sox, they really thought that he was going to hit, and he has not hit. He's having the same struggles that he had with the Red Sox. He's 3 for his last 28, 171 overall. No one doubts his fielding ability, but he has not been able to hit. Neither has Martin Prado. And there's a strike. Audi A3 scoreboard, 0-0. Starting the third.
You know, you've heard it said that good hitting is contagious, and everybody seems to jump on. Maybe it works the other way as well. You know, they put too much pressure on themselves and run scoring situations. It's almost like I got to drive this run, and instead of I'd like to drive this run.
One pitch, 2-1.
Did you mention the fact Drew's 3 for his last 28? That's.
And Prado 3 for his last 23. And you know, you ask these questions and no one has any answers. So you ask people why, and you know they're just kind of, I don't know. No one seems to know. These are better hitters than what they're doing right now. 3-1. Skied the other way. Long run for Delman Young. He slides. He can't make the play. It falls in as Stephen Drew has a double.
Well, there's your first base runner of the game. Now, we mentioned the fact that Buck Showalter alternates left fielders. We're going to take a look at this one on Yes Mo, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. He did get there. He just wasn't able to corral it off the glove. And Stephen Drew's going to have himself a double leading off the third inning for the Yankees. Delman Young's long suit has never been his defense. He's primarily a hitter.
So now the Yankees have a runner in scoring position. And here's Martin Prado. Tillman obviously works from the stretch. And there's a strike to Prado.
Yeah, we talked about that weird play in which the Yankees scored a couple of runs on Monday night. It was Prado at the plate, and it was a missed hit and run. That kind of set everything in motion. It was a tough pitch for Prado to actually swing and hit because it almost hit him. But then the Orioles started to throw the ball around, and the Yankees picked up 2 gift runs.
0-2.
Well, we talk about the Yankees offense being down. Offense is down throughout Major League Baseball. Strikeouts are up. Record levels. They were the year before. 2013. They were the year before that, 2012.
The 0-2. 1-2.
It's almost as if, Michael, hitters have abandoned the 2-strike approach of hitting, cutting down your swing, trying to hit the ball back through the middle or the other way. You know, the count is 1-2 here. You need something to get Drew over the third base. At least do that.
Kenny, what happened is that these guys, when they were growing up, they saw that home runs is what everybody wanted.
Yeah. You were talking about the Bonds, McGuire, Sammy Sosa. You know, in those days, Michael, even little guys were hitting 20.
So I think they changed the way they hit. They just tried to
go for
bail and wail.
Yeah.
Lost some fundamentals. Here's the 2-2 coming on to Martin Prado. Breaking ball misses outside. 3-2.
So far in the game, when Tillman's needed a strike, it's been number one, the fastball. Yep, there it is.
Well, he's going to get the job done as Markakis runs the ball down. Tagging is Drew, and he'll move to third.
So Prado did get the job done with 2 strikes. Maybe not his best swing, but it was a swing good enough to advance a runner to third base.
Well, that's going to bring up Francisco Cervelli. And the Orioles will bring the infield in. Pitch inside to Cervelli. 1-0.
Well, in the batting cage before games, Kevin Long, the hitting coach, stands behind the cage. He's yelling out situations, and this is one of those situations. Infield in, 1 out, get the runner in from third base. The good hitters do it about 70% of the time. They get that runner in from third with less than 2 outs. Cervelli's had 4 opportunities this year, and he's done it twice, so he's 50-50.
Cervelli in there because of the concussion DL of McCann. McCann expected to rejoin the Yankees in Tampa Bay. He should be in the lineup on Saturday if all goes well. One. There's a good fastball strike on the outside corner, 1-2.
By the way, the best on the team at getting that runner in from third base with less than 2 outs is Carlos Beltran. 67% of the time, 10 out of 15.
Runner at third, 1 out, top of the third, no score. Missed outside. Two pitch. Still 2-2.
Now, depending on what the Yankees have on here, if there's a Drew might be going on contact or trying to figure out on his own if he can score on a ground ball. But when you're at third in these situations, you look around at the infielders, see where they are, and when the ball is hit, you should know whether the shortstop has to go to his left or the third baseman has to go wide to his left, or if the second baseman has to go to his right, and then you might be able to score on a ground ball.
2-2. Backhanded by Hundley.
Yeah, he almost scored on a wild pitch there. And it also depends on how well the ball is hit. If it's hit softly, a high chopper, you get a good jump at third, you should be able to score. You take that walking lead at third base.
This is the 5th full count for Tillman. 3-2. That's going to get a run in. Maybe more. Young goes back. Track. Wall. See ya. A 2-run home run for Francisco Cervelli. Yankees get a hit with runner in scoring position, and they have a 2-0 lead.
Well, on Monday, we mentioned the ball flies out this time of year at Camden Yards. And that looked like a hanging breaking ball. It was up, and Cervelli jumped on it and gives the Yankees a 2-0 lead. Now, once the ball left the infield, you know the Yankees are going to get at least one. That's a hanging curveball. Man, that came up there with neon lights on it. And now it's gone.
So that breaks the 0 for 24 slide with runners in scoring position and breaks it in a big, loud way on a hanging breaking ball.
Yeah, that's saying neon lights spelling out hit me hard.
1-1 to Gardner.
Cervelli's second home run of the year.
Two-one. Slapped into center field. It is a base hit for Gardner.
You know, Michael, with the Yankees jumping out 2-0. I think that young man said came all the way from North Carolina. Yep. See Derek Jeter. I like to see the Yankees continue to be aggressive here. They jumped out to a 2-0 lead. Maybe a hit and run. Have Gardner steal. Try and get himself into scoring position. Maybe Jeter find a hole with a ground ball. Just keep the pressure on him.
0-1. Jeter grounded to second. That was in the first.
Here's a very good percentage for Brett Gardner in stealing bases. 18 out of 22.
Ground ball is short. This could be two. There's one. And there's two. So Jeter wraps into a 6-4-3 double play. But the Yankees take a 2-0 lead. A double by Drew. And then Francisco Cervelli crushes a hanging breaking ball into the seats and left. A 2-run home run. 2-0 Yankees. Yards. The Orioles celebrated the 60th anniversary of their franchise, and they introduced one of their best players, our very own Ken Singleton, who got a very nice hand. The ceremony was actually after the game on Friday. Game the Orioles won. Kenny got a really nice ovation and saluted back to the crowd. That must have been nice, Kenny.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. The whole day was. They had a luncheon in the afternoon. And of course, anytime you get to see former teammates, it's pretty good.
Ryan Flaherty grounds one fair, grabbed by Teixeira, 1 pitch, 1 out.
We had a nice afternoon. Buck Showalter was seated at our table, and we had a very good time. Told him some Earl Weaver stories and couldn't believe them. And then the ceremony after the game was very, very nice. I was kidding with Al Bunbury after. I said they spent more money on this ceremony than they did on our whole payroll back in the day. And there's a statue of Earl Weaver, the Hall of Fame manager, late manager of the Orioles. Best manager ever played for.
Jonathan Scope takes outside.
And there's the number 4. We were telling the stories to Buck, and we could only tell them because the wives are sitting there too, so we could only tell the ones we could really talk about.
Grounded sharply to Headley. 2 outs.
We did tell one about Earl Weaver took Rick Dempsey out of the game as you look at our Audi scoreboard, the 8-3 scoreboard, the Yankees leading 2-0, and Rick didn't want to come out of the game. So Rick went back on the field with his equipment, and Earl had to go out and show the umpire, look, he's out of the game. Umpire said, yeah, you're out. So as Rick was coming out of the dugout, he started throwing his equipment, and his shin guard hit Earl Weaver. So Earl picked it up and threw it back at Rick. They're throwing equipment at each other in the dugout and they're calling each other names. Rick went up in the clubhouse, and after the inning was over, Earl followed him up there. So Rick was in the shower, and as Earl stood there in the shower, Rick turned the shower head directly on Earl Weaver and soaked him. Earl came down to the dugout, managed the rest of the game in a wet uniform.
This is before there were cameras everywhere.
Well, sure, yeah. Who's going to have cameras in the shower?
That's true. But at least hitting them with the shin guard, somebody would have picked up.
Yeah, most definitely. They probably did in those days. That game was on TV.
Pineda has worked a perfect 3 innings. 9 up, 9 down. And he heads to the 4th as the Yankees lead this one 2-0. Smokers Quitline Quiz. Call 1-866-NY-QUIT for free help today. Who's the only player to win the American League MVP award with the Orioles and not be elected to the Hall of Fame? We will find that out in the bottom of the inning. Now, Baltimore tonight is really the center of the baseball universe. Obviously, the Orioles and the Yankees, I wouldn't think that would make them the center of the baseball universe, but I think all 30 owners, and you see the Lincoln scoreboard, 2-0 Yankees, or a representative, a high-ranking representative of the owner, they're all in town to vote on a new commissioner. Right back to Tillman. And he'll retire Ellsbury. So from what we hear, there are 3 candidates. Rob Manfred, who has been the right-hand man for Bud Selig, Tim Brosnan, and Tom Werner, one of the owners of the Red Sox. And they've all made their presentations, and they've all been questioned by the owners. And tomorrow, the vote will take place, and you cannot become commissioner unless you get 3/4 of the vote.
That's almost like getting in the Hall of Fame.
So there's a lot of intrigue surrounding this. Here's Mark Teixeira. 1-0.
Of course, Mark, originally from this area, Severna Park, Maryland. A lot of friends and family at the ballpark tonight. Went to Mount St. Joseph's High School, which is, one of the, usually a powerhouse around here in sports, whether it's baseball, basketball, football. They're usually ranked in the top 10 in the Baltimore Sun.
Hammered to right field. It's a base hit. Markakis fields deep as Teixeira will be held to a single. Fans, you can now tweet at Yes Network your best fan photo using hashtag YesFanPhoto for a chance to have it shown during the game. Brought to you by AT&T. So 1 on 1 out here in the 4th inning. That's going to bring up Beltran. Carlos just missed one in the 2nd inning. Hit a sky-high fly ball to Nick Markakis.
Yeah, once again, I wanted to point out, I pointed it out on Monday, Michael, where Nick Markakis plays in right field for left-handed hitters. He plays so far off the line. Look at all this room between him and the foul line. It's because it's only 318 down the line. If anything's hit well down the line into the air, he's not going to get it anyway. And what he's doing is cutting off the gap in right center, which cuts down on doubles. He's cutting on the distance between him and Adam Jones is not as much as it is towards the right field line. So he's cutting off doubles to the gap and possible triples to right center field. But I will say this, anything hit over the head of the first baseman on the line, he has to really hustle into that corner to keep him from being a triple.
One and 2 on Beltran. So far, Michael Pineda's looked very good. Still 1 and 2.
And Cervelli's been sitting with him in the dugout after each inning.
Swing and a miss. Got him on the change.
Second strikeout for Tillman as he goes to an off-speed breaking ball. That's the one that he hung to Francisco Cervelli. Beltran actually foul-tipped it into the glove of Hundley. Michael, you were talking about new commissioner. That's got to be a lot of intrigue involved here. You know, certain allies that you've made over the years, or maybe even enemies you've made over the years. Somebody doesn't like you, they're not going to vote for you.
And baseball wants to do it nice and clean, because if you look at the other sports, you know, the transition from David Stern to Adam Silver was almost rubber stamped, and it seems like Manfred is the choice of Bud Selig, who's going to retire in January.
But when Adam Silver, I didn't hear of any other candidates. Did I?
No, because he He was David Stern's guy. And David Stern told the owners this is the guy.
And when Roger Goodell came in football, the same deal.
At least there was some backroom politics in football, but it never got ugly. If there's not a commissioner elected tomorrow, it could be interesting. That one's lined to left field, a base hit. Throw comes into second. So a single for Headley as Teixeira moves to third.
Long single off the bat of Chase Headley as Teixeira has plenty of time to get to third base. Good piece of hitting. Ball out over the plate. Just strokes it neatly in the left field. You got Delman Young on the run. He's going to come into the picture right here. And gets the ball back into second to hold Headley to a single. A long single.
So 2 down. Runners on first and third. Yankees lead 2-0, top of the fourth. And here is Stephen Drew, who doubled to left field to start the Yankees' 2-run third inning.
These are the situations with 2 outs that can really spark a team. If the Yankees score here, that means they got 2 hits with 2 outs to get the job done. And the team starts to feel better about itself in these situations. All of a sudden, people are cheering with 2 outs as opposed to reaching for their gloves. They head back onto the field.
Two and 0 on Drew. Teixeira off third. Headley off first. Into the seats. High pitch count for Tillman here in the fourth inning. 69 pitches.
Well, the first 2 innings were kind of a cakewalk. 6 up, 6 down. Well, then the Yankees started to work him over. Last inning, scoring a couple of runs. This inning, first and third with 2 outs. These are pressure pitches that he's been throwing the last 2 innings.
Skied the other way and out of play.
I'm looking at Delman Young out in left field, this time with Drew at the plate. Delman Young's motioning to the Oriole dugout as to where the play. He's much closer to the left field line this time. Drew dropped that double in the first time down the left field lane. Had a long run, didn't come up with it.
Soft ground ball to second, and that'll do it here in the fourth. We mentioned that they're trying to elect a commissioner here in Baltimore. If they don't by tomorrow, there's going to be a lot of crabby people here in Maryland. Quit line quiz. Who's the only player to win the American League MVP award with the O's and not be elected to the Hall of Fame? Kenny?
I know that one. That's Boog Powell.
That's who it is. Not elected to the Hall of Fame, but he has his Boog's barbecue out there.
Yeah. You know what Boog told me the other day?
What's that?
He said he loves it when the Yankees are in town. New Yorkers love their pit beef. He said that he does very well when Yankee fans are in. He says better than any other team.
Lincoln scoreboard 2-0 Yankees as Michael Pineda 9 up 9 down over the first 3 innings and deals a strike to Nick Markakis. It's like some Boog's barbecue.
Remember the night he sent some up to us?
Yes, I was just thinking of that. It was a couple of years ago, right?
Yeah, it was.
Good times.
Michael was hungry. We made a little call, and Boog brought it up here himself. Boog, very nice of him.
And then there was also another day that one of your ex-teammates, Rick Dempsey, brought some stuff from his place.
His restaurant is right next to Boog's. Yeah.
The 1-2.
And Michael, did you notice when you made that little funny about the crabs there at the end? Meredith got up and left.
Yeah, I think I offended her. She's back, though. High pop-up. Shallow center. Coming on is Ellsbury. He makes the play for the first out. Let's take a look at the cold hard facts. They're brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. And this is about shifting against Chris Davis. Chris Davis has been shifted against 321 times. Only 3 other players have been shifted against more. And this comes from Baseball Info Solutions. So David Ortiz shifted 397 times.
You might notice that all of those are left-handed hitters. Left-handed power hitters who usually go up there with one thing on their mind, hitting the ball over the right field wall. But you look at Chris Davis's batting average this year, 197.
That one's driven deep to right field. Prado back, track, wall, leaps, and he makes the play. Made that like he's been playing right field for years. Nice play by Prado.
Well, anytime Davis hits one in this direction, the crowd gets all hyped up. Looked like a hanging slider. He might have got underneath it just enough, but Prado back to the wall. Gets up to get down. Good play by Martin Prado in right field. The apex of his leap, he hauls it in.
And when you make an attempt like that, Kenny, you have to have trust in your center fielder. Because if the ball goes off the wall, you're in no man's land. And Ellsbury was right there.
And usually that means if he's not there, it's going to be a 3-base hit.
There's Adam Jones. He had a fly ball right in the first inning. And there's a slide, a strike.
Yeah, that was the best slider he's thrown tonight. This first one to Adam Jones. That one had some sharp break to it. And that last one, that one was a little flat. So he's not quite there with the slider. We saw earlier in the year, Michael, that thing was sharp, hard, tough for the right-handed hitters to deal with. Thing I like about Pineda, he's been working fairly quickly. He's not messing around out there. Yeah, Adam Jones just stepped out. That kept Pineda from coming right back at him.
Nice crowd on hand here on a Wednesday night. Looks like it's a bigger crowd than the one we saw on Monday, and that was 34,000.
Yeah, Baltimore averages just over 30,000 per game.
Swing and a miss. Jones down on strikes. And through 4 innings, Michael Pineda has not allowed a base runner. Martin Prado played a big role this inning. For sure, it's going to be a dogfight right till the end. We go to the 5th inning here at Oriole Park at Camden Yards. Yankees lead 2-0. It's been a triumphant return off the DL for that man, Michael Pineda. Perfect through 4. There's not a lot of base runner.
As Prado steps in, we were talking about in between innings. One thing I've liked about Pineda tonight.
Prado pops it up. Let's see if Hundley has room. Looks like he does. 1 away.
I was saying one thing I liked about Pineda tonight, he's finished off the last 3 innings with a strikeout. And if you're you know, you've seen fights, boxing. That's like a flourish at the end of the round to impress the judges. And then maybe you get the deciding vote in that round. So he's getting the deciding vote by picking up the strikeouts to end innings.
No, he's ahead on all the judges' cards so far.
Yeah, right now he is.
Well, here's the difference in the game. Francisco Cervelli's 2-run home run in the 3rd inning. Pitch outside. The 1-0. Strike. 1-1.
Yeah, maybe the worst pitch that Tillman threw tonight. Cervelli hit it out of the ballpark. And that's the difference in the game.
Yankees 2 runs on 5 hits, 0s across for the O's through 4. Cervelli down on strikes.
Well, kind of another hanger, not to the extent of the last one he hit out, but that was more of a slider than a curveball. And it's going to pick up the strikeout this time of Cervelli. Hey, hit one, you want to hit another one real soon.
Count 1-0 to Gardner. Tua. Tillman at 78 pitches. The Yankees lead 2-0. Gardner's 1 for 2, fly ball to center and a single to center.
Yeah, with that base hit, he's now hitting 6 of his last 7 games.
There's a strike.
It's a curveball that Tillman had a problem getting over right there, and it. He hasn't gotten many of them over. He got the one to Savelli over, and he wants that one back. See where he goes 3-2.
Broken bat looper. Chris Davis makes the play. Yankees go down in order. At the end of 4.5, we're halfway through. Yankees 2, Orioles nothing. Visit BuickDealer.com for all summer sell-down offers. By People's United Bank, see what know-how can do. And by the 2014 Mazda 3 with seamless connectivity. Michael Pineda missed 87 games because of suspension and injury. And he goes to the 5th inning leading 2-0. And there's a strike to Nelson Cruz.
You know, by the way, that home run Cruz hit here Monday night, Michael, is the longest home run hit here this year. 442 feet. It went up towards the Yankees bullpen.
The 0-2. Still 0-2.
So far, Pineda looks free and easy out on the mound. You look, I don't see any signs of previous injury.
That one is hammered into left center field. It's going to be the first base runner of the game for the O's. Nelson Cruz with a leadoff double here in the fifth.
Cervelli wanted the ball up, but he wanted it higher than Pineda threw it. You see, he wants it up here somewhere, but it's down lower, as you can see, just below the letters where Cruz could get to it. They were trying to make him chase the high fastball, and he didn't get it elevated enough, and it turns into a leadoff double. When the catcher holds the target up that high, it's usually supposed to get a hitter to chase out of the zone and strike himself out. Instead, it's more of a strike, and Cruz gets into it.
Here's Delman Young with a fly ball to left, his first time up. Count 1-0.
First time tonight that Pineda's had to work from the stretch. See how this goes.
Two and 0.
You know, sometimes pitchers who have been working almost exclusively from the windup and just cruising along, just the mere fact that they have to throw out of the stretch just changes things around, and sometimes they lose the ability to throw the ball where they want to.
There's a strike.
And that's why you're encouraged during your warm-up pitches in between innings, when you come out for the next inning, to throw some pitches from the stretch, even though you have been dealing from the windup.
Grounded to third. Headley across the diamond for the first out. Cruz stays put. Steve Pearce struck out in the second inning. We're in the fifth. Yankees lead 2-0. And the pitch. There's a strike. Fouled the fastball back 0-2.
You know, Michael, I think Joe Girardi and Larry Rothschild will certainly be pleased with the way Pineda's come out and thrown and looked pretty good. I also think that, you know, there was talk of him making one more rehab start. But you got to wonder why would, you have him down there at AAA getting AAA hitters out. You want to see what he can do against the big leaguers.
Major League debut for Pineda came in 2011. He actually earned an All-Star selection and finished 5th in the American League Rookie of the Year voting. Yankees got him in January of 2012. The 1-2. High fly ball, shallow left center. It's going to dunk in for a base hit. Cruz had to hold up as Gardner gets the ball in. So a bloop single for Pierce, and the Orioles have runners on the corners and 1 out. That's going to bring up Ryan Flaherty, and Pineda has a talk with Cervelli.
Yeah, Pierce breaks an 0 for 10 with a bloop single in between Gardner and Ellsbury in left center field.
Gary Tuck is going to get somebody up to warm.
Yeah, they're going to take it easy with Pineda in his first trip back as Dylan Betances.
How much do they want to win this game?
Yeah, this is an early wake-up call for him.
Wow. Off day yesterday and off day tomorrow, so you have a well-rested bullpen. Pitch to Flaherty is high.
Remember, Pineda is still in the building mode. He's building up the power in his arm. Good pitch, off-speed pitch in for a strike in a fastball count. Drops it in there. Took something off of it. If Pineda throws a fastball here, that last one was 92. If he throws another one here, this is to blow it by him. So if he can get it up over 92, 94, 95, that'll tell you he's still got some oomph in there. If it's still around 92, if he comes with a fastball, let's see what the pitch is first of all. Looks like it's going to be some sort of breaking ball. Saw Cervelli shift to the inside, and that would lead me to believe it's going to be a slider down and in. Let's see if he moves there again. And there's a slider down and in, and it just missed. Yep, it was inside.
First and third, 1 man out, 2-2 count on the number 7 hitter, shortstop Ryan Flaherty. Fly ball center field. Ellsbury is there. Tagging is Cruz. He's coming home. He'll score. Throw comes into Jeter. Sac fly for Flaherty, and the Yankee lead is 2-1. .63 pitches for Pineda. And here's Jonathan Scope.
The base hit by Pierce was on a breaking ball with 2 strikes. He just got enough of it. And the fly ball by Flaherty was on an off-speed pitch as well. That when Pineda's going really well, he gets swings and misses on those pitches.
Lost a little something off his fastball.
Yeah, you're right, Michael. 91. I've been watching the radar gun readings in this inning in particular. Little cut to that one. Scope had a good swing at it.
Maybe the cut brought the velocity down. Let's see if he throws a 4-seamer. Pierce leads off first. The 0-1. Joe Girardi said about 85 pitches. Also, according to how he looks. So you're not locked into getting him to 85. He looks like he's lost something. One and two.
One thing you see with Scope up here is his average is low at 216, but he does have 10 home runs. It's a good breaking ball, drops in for a strike. You very rarely see young hitters. I see a few of them, I guess, but very rarely they don't use batting gloves. Think of Will Myers with the Rays. I don't think he uses them.
Oh, what a play by Headley. Gets to his feet. Fires. Got it. Strong play by Chase Headley to end the inning. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We played 5 full. A diving stop, full body by Headley, and a strong throw to end the inning, and the Yankees lead by 1.
Play by Chase Headley, the third baseman. Watch this headlong dive into the pool that's the hole between third and short. The throw of the first is in time for the out. It's a heck of a play by Headley, a Gold Glove type play, and that's going to be it for Michael Pineda. He gets through 5 innings, and the Yankees have a 2-0 lead. Big hug for his catcher, Francisco Cervelli, 2-1 lead.
Derek Jeter will lead off against Chris Tillman, so 2-1 Yanks. 0-1. Benjamin Moore scoreboard 2-1. That's the line on Pineda. Didn't walk a batter, struck out 4. Looked like he ran out of gas there in that 5th inning. You know, big league ball is a lot different than pitching in Scranton Wilkes-Barre. The 0-2. Ground ball is short. Flaherty just gets Jeter. 1 out.
Look at Ryan Flaherty, who's more or less the utility infielder here for Baltimore. He can play second, third, or short. Probably a little first base if Buck Showalter wanted him to. And with J.J. Hardy out of the lineup, he's the option for shortstop. Now, with Manny Machado out of the lineup, he'd probably be the option for third base. But with both of them out, he plays short. When Hardy comes back, he'll probably play third, with Chris Davis going back to his customary first base position.
Here's Jacoby Ellsbury, 1 out in the 6th. Shows bunt, takes a strike.
Michael, once again, we're into that tack on point of the ball game. We had it on Monday night. The Yankees couldn't tack on. They had the lead at 3-1, and then the game went the other way.
Fly ball center field. Adam Jones drifts over to make the play for the 2nd out. Here's Mark Teixeira. He singled his last time up. He's 1 for 2.
Do you believe some of these Oriole fans are still booing him?
I guess they will forever. I don't even know if they made a legitimate run for him when he was a free agent. High pop-up. Shallow right. Markakis is there, and Tillman works a 1-2-3, 6th inning, and threw just 7 pitches to do it. We go to the bottom of the 6th. 2-1 Yanks. Verizon called to the bullpen. Michael Pineda is done. And it looks like because he had a day off yesterday and a day off tomorrow, he's going to go 2 innings with Dellin Betances, or that's his hope.
Well, he's bringing him in here. 68 2/3 innings, 102 strikeouts, 20 walks. Opponent's batting average, minuscule, 135. This will be his 52nd appearance. So Betances comes in and trying to maintain the Yankees' 1-run lead here in the bottom of the 6th.
Overall feeling about Pineda, Kenny?
Yeah, you know what? I was very impressed. You know, you coming into this sort of situation, you don't know what to expect. You know, if the pitch limit was 85, he could have gone out and thrown 85 in the first 2 innings. But instead, he looked pretty sharp. His breaking ball wasn't quite as it been in the past. Not quite that good. And his fastball at the beginning was pretty good. He threw upwards of 95, 1 or 2 of them.
Yep.
As we look at our Benjamin Moore scoreboard, Yankees up 2-1, bottom of the 6th. But the last inning, you can see the velocity on the fastball coming down.
There's a base hit for Nick Hundley to start off the 6th inning. Jumped on the first pitch from Betances.
I think another thing about Pineda tonight, he didn't walk anybody, which is very impressive in his first outing.
Here's Nick Markakis. Now, as for Betances, Kenny, his last appearance was August 8th against Cleveland, so he's had 5 days off. And there's a strike. Grounded foul.
So Wayne Kirby, first base coach, do some high stepping to get out of the way. Talked about Markakis the other night. He was our Jeep hitter scouting report. He's had 45 multi-hit games now. Tied with Robinson Cano for 3rd in the league. Melky Cabrera is 2nd with 46. Ooh. That's some high cheddar, high cheese strikes him out. Not fooling around upstairs. Couldn't get on top of that. 97 miles an hour. I should say Jose Altuve. 50 multi-hit games. Having a great year for the Houston Astros.
There's Chris Davis. He is 0 for 2. On 1. 98-mile-an-hour fastball.
So when you step in against Betances, first of all, you know he throws hard. Second of all, you know he's got a great breaking ball. Third of all, he looks like a mountain out there on the mound. Like he's looking straight down at you.
One, two.
All 3 of these pitches have been 98. I think he's got him set up for the breaking ball just out of the strike zone down low. Davis likes the ball down, and he will chase from time to time. You can get him down there, or you can pass him upstairs, one or the other. Didn't chase it.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Pitch, swing and a miss. Got him on a breaking ball.
Down and in. He missed the first time. This time a little closer to the strike zone. And Davis swings and misses. It's pitch in the easy pass zone. Second strikeout in a row for Betances. He sees it. He thinks it's a strike. It's really not. And he chases it. Davis leads the league in striking out.
When he's got both the pitches working, it's not quite fair.
It's a good way of describing it. When you see left-handed hitters having a problem with the breaking ball, that tells you not only throws it pretty hard, it's got a good sharp break to it. Neither one of these pitches that Jones swung at were a strike. The breaking ball down and away, and the fastball up and in. And see if you can get him to chase out of the strike zone again. You don't have to lay it in there. Don't get too close to the strike zone. You got a couple of pitches to play with here.
Check the swing. Greg Gibson agrees.
When Jones first came up, he used to chase that pitch time and time again. Every once in a while, he'll slip back into the mode early in his career. He checks this time.
He said check. I check. 1-2. Swing and a miss. A breaking ball. 3 Orioles go down on strikeouts. Nick Markakis, high cheese. Chris Davis, nasty breaking ball. Adam Jones, another deuce. 3 in a row. We go to the 7th. A 3-game set in St. Pete against the Rays. Friday starting pitchers brought to you by Verizon Fios, making life more entertaining with America's fastest, most reliable internet. That's powerful. Brandon McCarthy's been pretty powerful. That's his combined record, D-backs and the Yanks. And Alex Cobb will go for the Tampa Bay Rays. Now, the Yankees kind of rejiggered their rotation. Shane Green was supposed to start tonight, so they're going to move him to Saturday, and Hiroki Kuroda is not going to start at all this weekend. They changed that. He's going to start on Sunday now. So this way he gets the benefit of a couple of days now, and because Monday's an off day, the next time he'll also get the benefit.
Yeah.
If they had waited until Tuesday, then his next 2 starts after that would be on normal rest. So they're trying to make sure he's fresh. So those are the probable starters for the weekend series against the Rays.
Yeah, we're going to get a look at Jeremy Hellickson, who'd been out for most of the year with elbow problems following surgery.
Cadillac scoreboard 2-1 Yankees lead. Top of the 7th inning at Oriole Park. Two and 2 from Tillman. Closing in on 100 pitches. Right back to Tillman. 1 away. This chiropractic telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the aforementioned New York Yankees.
That last inning by Betances kind of reminded me of an inning years ago. You know, Hundley got the hit, and then Betances struck out the next 3. Years ago, we were facing Dave Righetti in New York, and he came in to close out a game, and he gave up 2 dinky hits to lead off the top of the 9th at Yankee Stadium. And then he struck out the next. That was one of them. Next 3 hitters on 9 pitches. So I said to Eddie Murray, who had one of those dinky hits, I said, I don't know what you guys did, but you must have really ticked him off. Righetti, he had a very good fastball.
Went from starter to reliever.
Yeah.
And now very well respected pitching coach with the San Francisco Giants. 2-0. Headley with a fly ball left field. Backing up Delman Young. 2 outs. Well, Tillman has settled down. 9 in a row retired after this single by Headley in the 4th.
There's nobody warming up in the Orioles bullpen. Of course, there's 2 outs now, but he's up to 97 pitches.
Here's Stephen Drew, doubled in the 3rd, and then grounded to 2nd in the 4th. There's a strike.
Tillman has thrown as many as 122 pitches, and that was at Fenway Park way back in April. That was the 2nd highest pitch count of his career. He had one game where he threw 125, but that was not this season.
Dribbled up the first baseline. And he had to throw it past Pierce. He could not get an angle. And will get an error instead. Now they're going to say that Drew ran out of the baseline. Home plate umpire Jerry Davis makes the call, and Joe Girardi is out arguing immediately.
And we're going to have another look at this one. There's a little dribbler. There's Drew going down the line. Now, once he gets to the 45-foot mark, he's got to run inside. And to me,
boy, I don't think he ran out of the line.
I don't either. At least in the first part when he got to the 45-foot line, I thought he was within the 2 lines, which is where he's right there. He is. And it depends on if he was hit, because it looked like he went for the base. Now, the base is on the left side of the foul line, and you have to move that way to get to the bag. Watch him come down the line. This is a very good angle. Ball is a little dribbling. He reacts a little slowly, but now he's coming down the line. He's going to be within his rights about right here. Hundley picks up the ball, and he's going the other way. I'll tell you what, I think he was within his rights there. He has to go for the bag.
And Joe Girardi just got thrown out of the game again.
Yeah, I had a feeling he would. I mean, there's a difference having a runner in scoring position with a couple of outs, and another hit is another run. But I thought he ran within the 45-foot line when Joe says to Jerry Davis, "You're wrong," and Jerry says, "You're gone."
He said, "You're wrong," and then he rated his call, and Jerry didn't want to hear it, so he threw him out. All right, we'll take a brief timeout. We'll come back. It's time for the 7th-inning stretch here in Baltimore. All right, we go to the bottom of the 7th. Nelson Cruz leads off against Dellin Betances, who starts him off with a nasty breaking ball strike. Here's the play again, Kenny.
Here's the play again, and you can see Hundley is directly behind Drew. He has to hit him with the ball. It's the only way he can get it towards first base. Usually that line is there, so his ball's popped up.
It'll be a tough play as Drew makes the play. Let's go to Bob Lorenz for a quick update. Well, thank you, Bob. Right here, we're in the bottom of the 7th. The Yankees lead 2-1.
Yeah, this play is designed to keep the runner from going to his left, as we see Delmon Young foul the ball off. And running on this side of the line, you can see that Drew is not. The ball is picked up, and Hundley's throwing from the other side of the line. And about the only thing he can do is hit Drew with the ball or throw it away.
Kenny, I've long felt that base line, 45 feet after home plate, it's ridiculous. The base is in fair territory.
Exactly.
It's almost a physical impossibility to stay within that lane unless you just kick your foot out like a rocket. At the last moment to touch the bag, you've got to come inside a bit. Fly ball to Gardner for the second out. Cadillac scoreboard 2-1 Yankees. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
In Little League, they have double bags. So there's one bag that's in foul territory, so you could run straight through. There's no way to run straight through and stay in that lane.
You have to go to the left to get to the bag, and you're trying to get there as quickly as possible.
And he was not blatantly running inside. He was just shifting his direction so he could get to the bag. He was right on the line.
And you saw Hundley lean to the right to throw the ball.
Joe Girardi was ejected for the 26th time in his career, 23 as a manager. The 1-0. And there's a strike to Pierce. Boy, does Betances have good stuff tonight. He's had good stuff all year, but really sporting an outstanding fastball and a great breaking ball.
Yeah, you can tell when he's had a day off. I mean, fastball is just even more explosive than usual.
Check swing. Did he go? No, he did not.
I mean, Drew did everything right. I'm going to get back to that again because he was within the 45-foot line when the ball was picked up. Now he starts leaning to the left because he's getting closer to the bag.
Swing and a miss. What a 2-inning outing for Dellin Betances. He rings up 4 more strikeouts, retires the last 6 batters in a row. And we go to the 8th. Yankees up 2-1. Dealer. Yankees lead 2-1. 2 runs on 5 hits. The O's 1 run on 3 hits. Pineda making his first start since April 23rd. 5 innings, 2 hits, 1 run. Didn't walk a batter, struck out 4. Cervelli, a 2-run home run. That's the Yankee offense. Tillman has given the Orioles 7 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs. Has not walked a batter and 3 strikeouts.
New pitcher. We saw him in the opening game of the series. Darren O'Day. And this is his 51st appearance. On Monday, he went an inning and 2/3, didn't give up any runs or any hits. He had a strikeout and a couple of walks.
Martin Prado will lead off. Count 1-0. Now, Kenny, at this point, there is nobody up in the Yankee bullpen. There's some stirring out there right now, but no one is yet warming. Would they let Betances go 3? He has 24 pitches. See the Hyundai scoreboard. Yankees up 2-1.
Well, you've already made the point, Michael. There's a day off tomorrow.
Looks like somebody is windmilling his arm, about to begin throwing.
It's like Sean Kelly to me. But my eyes aren't as good as they used to be from this distance. Yeah.
1-1. There's a strike.
Yeah, that play it's not reviewable because Joe Girardi definitely would have asked for a review as opposed to being thrown out of the ball game.
One, two. Although there's a clear delineation in the baseline, out of the baseline, it's considered a judgment call.
That was not that clear, though, one way or the other, if you ask me. I thought it was clear he was within his rights when he got halfway down the first.
Well, to me, it's almost like the home plate blocking rule by the it's unenforceable.
Yeah.
There's no way that you can really stay in that baseline and get to first base. So every single time you can say, well, the guy veered slightly on the line. I mean, watch from now on, all of our viewers, every time somebody runs to first base, they run inside to get to first base. It's in fair territory. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Got him. Kenny, let's take a look at the T-Mobile game changer.
Let's go all the way back to the beginning of the game, and it's going to be the Yankees starter, Michael Pineda. Michael said the first time pitching since April 23rd, and he was very impressive this game. 5 innings, 1 run, 2 hits, 4 strikeouts, and he did walk it back. He got some defensive help from Chase Headley. And that's our T-Mobile game changer, Michael Pineda. Good job today.
Well, there's the box that you have to run in. You see where first base ends. It's almost a physical impossibility unless you just kick out your left leg as you go by.
What'd you say, like a rocket?
Like a rocket.
I've seen the Rockets. They do a good job.
They do an outstanding
job.
Goodness. Especially around the holidays.
Yeah, I went for the Christmas show.
Well, here's the difference maker in this game. Francisco Cervelli with a 2-run home run in the third. That's the Yankee offense. Second baseman Scope shades up the middle for the righty swinging Cervelli. Two and one. Two one. O'Day deals the 3-1. 3-2.
You can see why O'Day would be tough on right-handed hitters. They're only hitting 177 against him, but lefties are only hitting 188. So he's done a good job against both left-handed and right-handed hitters. This time he puts a wrinkle in this one. And Cervelli takes it for strike 2.
Three-two. He walked him. So Cervelli gets on to the top of the Yankee order. Brett Gardner will come up. Now Showalter obviously knows the lefties that are coming up for the Yankees, but O'Day gets everybody out. Usually those sidewinders, they have a lot of trouble against the opposite hitter, but not the case with him. Both sides hitting under 200 against him. Strike. You have to throw with precision if you're going to do that, and you also have to have a good off-speed pitch. Fly ball left field. Delman Young will make the play. Cervelli heads back to first. Let's take a look at how O'Day delivers the ball on the Mercedes Yesmo, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealers.
Usually pitchers throw this way because they haven't had success throwing the conventional way, and then they go to complete deception. He kind of fires the glove at you, and the ball is, he's still got the ball back in his hand, and all that is a deceptive move before delivering the pitch.
Here's Derek Jeter. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Fouled away. Two-1 Yankees lead, top of the 8th. A nail biter. Good pitching on both sides. Runner goes. Pitch swung on and missed. Throw to second. Not in time. Stolen base for Francisco Cervelli. That's his first one of the year.
And it comes at a good time. Now he's in scoring position with a couple of outs. Got a good jump. O'Day wasn't paying much attention to him. This replay brought to you by New York Presbyterian, the official hospital of the New York Yankees. Amazing things are happening here. And that's the amazing first stolen base of the year for Francisco Cervelli. He's kind of doing it all tonight. 2-run homer, stolen base, calling a good game.
Robertson and Kelly.
Jones in center, Markakis in right, very shallow as Betances, he's still in the ball game. It's going to be tough for Cervelli to score on a base hit if it's directly at one of those two. They both have strong arms. Markakis has 10 assists out there in right field. He's among the league leaders. And Jones threw a runner at the plate the other day against the St. Louis Cardinals. On the fly from center field.
The 0-2. Way outside. Fly ball shallow center. Coming on Jones. He had him played shallow, as Kenny said, and he makes the play. No runs, no hits, no errors. One man left. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Yankees 2, Orioles 1. Yes Network using hashtag YesFanPhoto for a chance to be shown in an upcoming game broadcast brought to you by AT&T. And this is from B. Pachorik, a family of Yankee fans. Is that here at the Inner Harbor? All right, so they made the trip to Baltimore to see the Yankees.
Of course, the Inner Harbor is not too far from Camden Yards. It's a place where a lot of tourists go and hang out, a lot of restaurants.
Does this surprise you, Kenny?
Not with an off day tomorrow.
Okay.
No.
And it does show you how big the Yankees think this game is.
Yeah,
I don't care if there's an off day tomorrow and an off day yesterday. For them to keep him in for a third inning shows you how badly they want this game.
Yeah, he's facing the bottom third of the order.
That'll start with Ryan Flaherty. And that one is ripped foul. Maybe they have him just get one out and then, or maybe two, and then bring in Robertson to get four.
Yeah, well, I think as long as nobody gets on base, I think they will leave him in. They're hoping, of course, for the 1, 2, 3 inning like he had last inning.
Count 1-1. Well, you need this guy the rest of the way to stay healthy, so they are really pushing the envelope here.
Maybe it shows Michael desperate times.
I guess.
Call for desperate measures. I can't remember Betances going 3 innings.
Ichiro takes over and right for Prado. Tighten up the defense. 2-2. Still 2-2.
Just about 50% of the outs for Dylan Betances are strikeouts this year. Oh. This one just missed. It had the corner. Must have been low, according to Jerry Davis.
Broken bat, looper to Jeter. 1 out. And here's Jonathan Scope. There's a strike.
Scope was the one that was robbed of a hit by Headley at third. Headley guarding the line.
High fly ball, left field, Gardner back. He's on the track. He's at the wall. He leaps. See ya. Tie game. This guy's owned the Yankees this year.
Yeah, this his 4th home run against the Yankees. He's got 11 on the year. Only Melky Cabrera, Will Myers, and Mike Napoli have hit as many as 4 against the Yankees.
Well, the Yankees asked Betances to do something he just doesn't do. He picks that 3rd inning and finally hung a breaking ball, and Scope deposited into the seats and left for a tie game. We'll be back. So they decide to go with Betances for a third inning. And the final pitch he throws is a hanging breaking ball.
You didn't see Cervelli's reaction when the ball was hit. He kind of knew where it was going. The target was low and away. The ball was almost right down the middle. And as Michael said, Scope has owned the Yankees this year. He has 11 runs batted in against the Yankees of his 32 on the season.
Well, the most pitches that Betances has thrown this year is 45 pitches against the Blue Jays on June 24th. And that was over 2 innings. So the new Yankee pitcher is Sean Kelly. And the final pitch he threw to Scope was his 33rd pitch. And there's a strike. Yankee bullpen a little shorter than usual because I think they're just afraid to use Adam Warren. Over his last 15 games, he has an ERA of 6.75.
Yeah, it's almost as if they want to give him more than 1 day off here. And if he doesn't pitch tonight, that means he'll get 3 days off in a row.
And also, Kenny, in terms of who they trust out there,
yeah.
I mean, the bullpen's been good overall, but they trust 2 guys with a big game, Betances and Robertson.
Exactly.
So they were somehow trying to get 4 innings out of those 2 guys. Didn't work out. Two and two. Grounded to Headley. 2 away.
Well, you know how disappointed Betances is. You know, the Yankees are used to playing these close games. So every single pitch you throw in the late innings, game on line. And Jonathan Scope, you can see why Baltimore likes him, despite the fact that he's hitting just .216 coming into the game. He has power. They like him on defense. They like particularly his arm. They compare it to Cano as the second baseman. So he's very strong on relay throws from the outfield.
Here's Nick Markakis. Count 0-1. Crowd of 37,587 sees Markakis fouling back.
Up to giving up that home run, Betances has kind of gone through the Oriole order like a hot knife through butter. 4 strikeouts. And that was easily the worst pitch he threw during the time he was in the game.
And sometimes you're hanging breaking balls when you're a little tired.
Yeah. Not quite as sharp.
Even when you're tired, you can still get velocity on the fastball. It's about location and the break on your breaking balls. Not saying he's tired, he maybe just hung the pitch, but he's in territory he's usually not in, and that's the 3rd inning of work. Kelly deals the 1-2. 2-2. Up the middle and through. A base hit for Markakis.
Markakis is a tough out. Didn't really hit this one that well, but he hit it right back through the middle. See him fight it off, pull his hands in, just got enough of the bat on it to get it through the middle for a base hit.
Chris Davis has faced Kelly 3 times in his career without a hit. Pitch inside to Davis. It's a 2-2 game, bottom of the 8th inning here in Baltimore.
And we told you when we came in, the Yankees are facing a team swinging a hot bat. Orioles hitting .291 as a team this month, with now 22 homers.
The 2-0. 3-0.
He's got the green light. You better be careful. This is Davis on Monday. Capuano hangs a breaking ball. He'd thrown all breaking balls. It's a 3-2 pitch. That put Baltimore in the lead.
Took a fastball for a strike. Three and 2, so that'll release the runner at first base with a 3-2 and 2 outs. And Teixeira will play behind Markakis. And now he's holding him on. Runner goes. And a walk to Davis, putting the go-ahead run in scoring position for Adam Jones. Tony Pena, the acting manager, after Joe Girardi was ejected for arguing a runner going out of the baseline, hit by a throw. Final out of the 7th inning. Stephen Drew is the runner. The throw from the catcher, Nick Hundley.
During his career against Kelly, Jones is 2 for 11, and it doesn't surprise me because Kelly's got a good slider. And that's a pitch that Jones can have trouble with when it's down and away.
High fly ball, left field. Going back, Gardner, still back on the track at the wall. See ya! A 3-run home run by Adam Jones. And just a brutally devastating inning for the New York Yankees.
Well, he did throw him a slider, but it was not down and away. Seems like every time the Yankees miss with a pitch in this series, the Orioles hit a home run. Target's down and away. His pitch is right in the middle of the plate. I don't know if Jones got all of it, but he got enough of it He's not really sure until about right now.
Nelson Cruz swings and misses.
This team is a home run hitting team. They play in a home run hitting ballpark. They are well suited for their home environment. That is a catchable ball in the Bronx. Right down Broadway. We saw it the other night, late in the ball game. Adam Warren and Chase Whitley made pitches down the middle, and both of them were hit out of the park. You saw Betances make the mistake to Scope, and he homered. This one's right there for Adam Jones.
He's saying, stay in. Stay in. Didn't listen.
The Orioles were the only team in baseball last year to hit 200 home runs. Looks like they're going to do it again this year.
Fly ball, left field, and that will finally do it. But a tough inning for the Yankees. Scope's home run tied it. Adam Jones' 3-run home run gave him the lead. Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by the Volkswagen Turbocharged Sales Event. Visit VWDealer.com. By Benjamin Moore, the official paint of the New York Yankees. And by your Tri-Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Tri-Honda dealer for great deals on the 2014 models. Well, the Yankees just got spanked in the bottom of the 8th inning. Let's see if they can spank back here in the top of the 9th. What kind of fight they have left after a 2-1 lead is now turned into a 5-2 deficit with 3 outs to go against the Orioles closer, Zach Britton.
Yeah, second consecutive 8th inning in which the Yankees have given up 4 runs. Here's Britton. The Orioles have tried several in the closing row. They have a roll. They have settled on Britton, who's done a pretty good job. We saw him blow a lead at Yankee Stadium when Carlos Beltran did a walk-off homer against him at the stadium.
Here's Ellsbury to lead it off. It'll be 3, 4, and 5 in the Yankee order. Pitch upstairs.
And Britton in a game on Sunday against the Cardinals gave up a 3-run homer in the 9th inning. David Lowe takes over defensively in left field. Delman Young now out of the game.
There's a strike. Britton deals a 2-1. 3-1. Yankees need base runners. Let's see if Ellsbury can get on.
Michael, you get the feeling that the way the Orioles hit home, they're never out of a game.
So Ellsbury's worked the count full. Defense straight away. Britton deals. Swing and a miss. Ellsbury down on strikes.
Britton features a mid-90s sinking fastball. He throws hard and it goes down. You can see that one sink. He's the type of pitcher you got to make him bring the ball up. He's one of those pitchers that the Orioles thought was going to be a big-time starter for them. He kind of failed in that role, and now he's kind of flourished in this role in the bullpen.
Here's Mark Teixeira, 1 for 3. You know, Kenny, your margin of error is so small when you don't score runs. When all you could do is get 2 runs, and you got to stretch your bullpen that way, and you just have an inability to make a game a laugher. So what happens? Every mistake is amplified.
And on the other end of the spectrum, Michael, we saw the Baltimore Orioles make 3 errors the other night, and they still won the game by 8 runs. They had another game earlier over the weekend against the Cardinals in which they had the bases loaded twice with nobody out and didn't score, and still scored 12 runs in that game. So what I'm saying is, run scoring can cover up a lot of bad things that a club will do during the course of a game. Whether it's errors or, you know, opportunities where you didn't score. If you could, they have that instant offense that the Yankees just don't have this year.
The 1-0. 2-0 to Teixeira. Well, Pineda pitched very well, 5 innings, and that was a big question mark, and left the game leading 2-1. Then Dellin Betances gave them 2 outstanding innings, and they pushed the envelope, asked him for a third. It didn't work out as Jonathan Scope connected for a game-tying home run. Then they brought in Sean Kelly, and it all fell apart. The 2-0, 3-0. The big home run by Adam Jones, a 3-run shot. That's the difference in the game right now, with 1 out in the top of the 9th, and the Orioles lead 5-2.
Yeah, a couple of things happen when you play close games all the time. You use your bullpen up. Every pitch could mean the game.
And the Yankees have a base runner. Stay right here after the final out for the WB Mason postgame to get highlights and analysis of tonight's finale from Bob Lorenz and Jack Curry in the studio. Plus, Meredith Moragovitz has the reaction from the clubhouse and also Joe Girardi's manager's report. It's all coming up on the WB Mason Yankees postgame. It's only on Yes. Here's Carlos Beltran. Beltran 0 for 3 tonight. Britton deals low and inside.
Yeah, you got to get one more man on base to give yourself a chance. Bring the tying run to the plate.
96-mile-an-hour fastball right by Beltran, 1-1.
That was Beltran to hit the home run off Britton in New York. And it was on a pitch much higher than that one.
One inside, 2-1.
Britton has missed with both breaking balls, so that means if I'm Beltran, there's only one thing I'm looking for here: fastball. Yep, there it is.
The 2-1. 2-2. Grounded foul. Grounded past Davis and down the left field line. Teixeira will go to third. Beltran heads to second. He's in there with a double. And the Yankees are still alive here in the ninth. Second and third with one out.
Well, they will get the tying run to the plate. As Beltran again comes through against Zach Britton. This is his 20th double of the season. Ripped by the third baseman, Chris Davis. We're used to seeing him on the other side of the field. No chance on that one.
Here's Chase Headley as the tying run at the plate. He is 1 for 3. Yeah, the breaking ball's not there.
No, he's throwing it, but he's not getting it over. So when you're hitting, that tells you there's one thing you got to worry about, and that's his sinking fastball, and you want to make him bring it up. Get him. Don't swing at it if it's around the knees.
Chopped slowly to third. Davis fields for the second out as Teixeira scores and Beltran moves to third. Orioles now lead 5-3.
Give Headley a run batted in. Slow chopper. There's the sinker. He hits on top of it. As Davis is going to throw him out, Teixeira scores easily. It's now a 2-run game.
Well, Drew against Britton lifetime. 2 for 4 with a home run. The Yankees' last chance with 2 outs. Runner at third. They're down by 2. Top of the 9th inning. One and 0. Remember, they took Prado out of the game for defense, so Ichiro Suzuki is on deck. And the 2-0. Grounded to first. Pierce takes it himself. And the Yankees lose a crusher by a score of 5-3. A 3-run home run by Adam Jones. The game-tying home run by Jonathan Scope. And the Orioles sweep the Yankees in this 2-game set.
Yeah, the Orioles showed late power in both ball games and were able to pull them out, as the Yankees found it very tough to keep the ball in the ballpark in the last couple of innings.
5-3, Orioles win this one. We'll come back, give out some awards. We'll try to wrap things up. You'll also hear from the guys in the postgame with Bob Lorenz and Jack Curry and Meredith Morakovitz. 5-3, Orioles win.